Okay, there are a couple different materials that you can use to tie this kind of fly. One of them is not monocord though, so just kind of forget that. You can use it for other things, but not this. One is called Easy Body. It comes in various sizes, and another one called flexi cord, and that comes in everything from chartreuse to pearl and white and gold and whatever. Let's start by using some flexi cord in 3/8 inch pearl. Cut a section about the width or the length that you would like for your bait fish pattern, and then it's always a good idea to seal the edges so they don't unravel before you put it back away. And you do the same thing with both sides of the one that you just cut. And that's important because it makes a difference in the ability of the material to compress and also for your cord not to slip off. This is a good old monocord. What you do is just pinch it between your fingers, the cord and the material, and then just kind of wrap it around and it will compress the material. And if you're careful, it won't slip off the end. And you do that a few times and you can sort of see how it looks. Just going to cut this tag end off here so it doesn't get in the way. And then you're going to want to do at least a half hitch to lock it in. Maybe 2. So then this is what you end up with. It's kind of a good idea to learn how to do a couple wraps around it to seal it off. So that's step 1. Step 2 will be to add a tail on. So this is the end of the fly, and then flipping it over, this will be the front of the fly. And by squeezing it, you can get an idea on what it'll look like. The next step is probably the trickiest. You're going to put a tail on the end of your fly. The hardest part is to try to make sure that whenever you do the wrapping, you wrap it around this little nub at the end as opposed to your material that you're using for the tail. You can use anything for the tail. I'm going to use a little bit of marabou that I'm going to cut off a feather boa. Flipping it around. Pinch it in place. And again, try to make the wraps so that you can trap it against the flexi cord. Do a couple half hitches again, being careful not to trap the material for your tail. And then if you can, wouldn't hurt to do a whip finish. And your tail is pretty much done. You might have to trim off a couple little tags of material if you want it to look a little better on the edge. It probably doesn't affect the fly at all, but there's your tail. The rest of this is pretty easy and like a typical fly. You don't use this is when you start to use the vise. You take your hook and you line it up with your material to kind of see where the hook will pierce the bottom of the material. So I pinch it like that. The hook, put it all the way through to that point, put it through the bottom, and that's going to be your fly. Now you can put this back in the vise. Take your cord of choice and make a couple good wraps to get it started. And then you just pinch this down. You can see how it takes the shape of a bait fish. And then being careful to trap the material like so, and pretty much done. At this point, you just glue on some eyes, put on a weed guard if you're so inclined, and that's pretty easy. So you just take a couple stick-on eyes, and then you just have to make sure they stay on, and I usually use something like Loon, light cure material. You can add a little bit to the front and around the edges. And if you want more weight to this fly, sometimes I'll just take good old-fashioned BBs. I think I have some here somewhere. BBs like this, or any other kind of weight, and you put it inside your fly before you're done. You cure it. A few seconds on each side. And again, you can also add more material of the light cured material to this if you like, to give it a little bit more weight and a little more strength. And you can also take magic markers, and if you want to give it a little more color, you can mark up your fly however you like. That's pretty much it.